3 minutes, that's all it took. Just 3 minutes for an ordinary night in Austin, Texas, to turn into a crime scene filled with panic, blood sirens, and questions that investigators still haven't fully answered. And honestly, the scariest part about this case is not just the shooting itself. It's the fact that even now, nobody can say with complete certainty what was really going on inside the shooter's mind. See, whenever something like this happens, people instantly look for one simple answer: terrorism, mental illness, extremism, hatred. But real life usually doesn't work that neatly. And this case is a perfect example of that. On March 1st, 2026, Austin's famous West 6th Street was crowded like any normal weekend night. Bars were full, music was loud, people were laughing, recording videos, waiting outside clubs, completely unaware that within moments, everything around them was about to change. According to investigators, the suspect was a 53-year-old man named Diaga Diani, originally from Senegal and later a naturalized U.S. citizen. Reports say he had been moving around the area before the attack began. Then, suddenly, gunfire erupted near the nightlife district. Witnesses described pure chaos. Some people dropped to the ground instantly. Others started running without even knowing where the shots were coming from. And honestly, if you watch footage from incidents like these, one thing becomes painfully obvious. Human beings never really expect normal life to break apart that fast. Authorities say the suspect used firearms, including an AR-style rifle, and officers who were already stationed nearby responded within moments. Police confronted and killed the suspect at the scene before the attack could continue further. But while the shooting itself ended quickly, the investigation that followed became far more complicated, because almost immediately, the FBI stepped in and announced they were investigating what they called a potential nexus to terrorism. Now, that wording is extremely important. They did not officially call it terrorism. They said they were investigating whether extremist beliefs or ideological motivations may have influenced the attack. And this is where things start becoming uncomfortable. According to multiple reports, investigators recovered material and online activity that raised concerns about possible extremist sympathies. Some reports connected the investigation to growing geopolitical tensions happening globally at the time, especially involving Iran, the United States, and Israel. But at the same time, authorities never publicly confirmed any direct operational connection to a terrorist organization. So then the question becomes, what exactly was this? Because when investigators looked deeper into the suspect's background, another disturbing picture started appearing. Reports suggested a history of instability, aggressive behavior, and previous incidents that had already raised concerns before the shooting ever happened. And honestly, this part of the story feels terrifyingly familiar. Time after time, after these attacks happen, people start discovering warning signs that existed long before the violence itself. And maybe that's why this case disturbed so many people, because it forces you to think about something most of us try to ignore. What happens when anger, instability, isolation, obsession, and access to weapons all collide together inside one person? Was this ideology? Was it psychological collapse? Was it both at the same time? Even investigators themselves appeared cautious about jumping to conclusions too early. Federal authorities focused heavily on surveillance footage, digital evidence, social media activity, and witness testimony before making any final statements about motive. And as of now, many questions still remain unanswered publicly. But here's the thing that stayed in my mind after reading through all these reports. For the people standing on that street that night, none of these debates mattered in the moment. Not politics, not ideology, not investigation language. All they experienced was fear, confusion, survival. And maybe that's what makes stories like this so disturbing. Not just because violence happened, but because ordinary life can look completely normal right before everything changes forever.